so I'm gonna talk about this, and today you might hear me yelling like a little, because luckily today my ex-wife, or whatever the fuck you call her, that constantly bitches about my meat and this and that, is not at home. Thank God. I can tell you where she's gone. I mean, I know she never told me. She thinks she's so smart. She doesn't tell me, but I know I can read her fucking mind, and I know, but and I know right down what she's doing at what time. I can see it. I can see it right in front. But my, uh, and this is evil. Like all. And this isn't the topic. Like, this video is supposed to be about why India will never change, but our Indians don't want India, and we all know I'm of Indian origin and all that. Even though I'm called hubby porn star, nobody believes I'm Indian. I mean, or nobody believes, Indian origin, whatever. I walk down the street, I can tell somebody I'm Arabic, I can tell somebody Spanish, I can tell somebody I'm, obviously American, British. I can tell them I'm British. I'm trying to, Rubish, yeah, I can speak in a British accent too, I mean, I can do it all, but, I can bare my teeth too, but anyway, I kind of sometimes, I hope, and it's never going to happen. I mean, she bitches about me cheating all the time, this and that. She won't leave despite being paid to, blah, blah, blah. You've read it so many times, I'm probably. And I cheat. I don't even cheat, because I tell her I'm doing it. And I'm like, you don't like it? Just fucking leave. She doesn't leave. I can't help it. She just bitches about it. But I kind of hope, and I even told her, go cheat on me. You can go, because you're my ex. I don't give two shits what you do, because that would actually be great, because this pestilence would be. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that, but I wanted to talk about, everybody, and this is starting to change now ever since Trump got elected. Everybody's like, India, India, India. For some reason, over the past few years, in the media and stuff, India's been so hyped up that people outside the country that have never been there think it's the greatest place on planet Earth. And of course, liberals, Jews, and simps, they all simp to India. Not because they like it, but because the populace is easy to control, the British controlled it. Now the Jews want to control it, and anybody that can. But I'm going to tell you one thing. The reality is the polar fucking opposite. And it's coming out on Twitter. It's coming out everywhere. And now, I mean, it's just getting nastier and nastier every day. But like today is Holi in India, right? Or I call it licensed hooliganism. Because if you're in the country, man, literally, it's insane. A guy like me, let's say I'm out for my morning run, okay? Some motherfucker with a turban or something, some little bugger, some guy or somebody, anybody. I mean, they'll pelt you with water balloons, and you look at them and you're like, what? I mean, why? This shit would get you shot somewhere. You're just pelting random people with, they're like, this is what they do. They're like, or you ask them why. This is exactly what they do. And it's like, ugh. I mean, I have no problem. And, Indian festivals were not originally supposed to be this way. People fucked it all up. People, India is basically one gigantic cope for everything. That's why so many Indians are on social media and stuff, because they see everything, but they can't get it because they are not willing to make the change required to get it. They just say, it'll always be the same or whatever. But as we think, so we are. But so, I mean, it's insane, man. I mean, you got 90-year-old grandmas that can barely be walking like this. They're pelting people with balloons. And you ask, what are you going to tell a 90-year-old fucking granny, I mean, my point is simple, and this ties into what I'm saying. Why exactly in a so-called secular country do you have to be forced into anything? And if you do have to be, like, say, in China, and we'll get to China, it should be for the greater good. It should be to advance something. It should be to develop something, not to simply pester people, you know. Then you got this incessant fucking music playing all day long. They don't let you sleep. They don't let you do a damn... I mean, and nobody gives one flying shit. And it's kind of like, you know, Hannibal Lecter and Dr. Chilton. And, you know, he put this big-ass television because he made, you know, Miggs eat his tongue or whatever. Miggs kind of deserved it. I think he should have eaten his eyeballs. They made him eat his eyeball, but whatever. I don't bet. So, I mean, that, you know, kind of like what they do in Guantanamo, you know, 24/7 music and stuff. It's like insane, man. Nobody gives two shits. I have no problem. I mean, anywhere in the world, you go to fucking China, you're in China, let's say, you know, you're in China. Chinese New Year is huge over there. It's fanatical. Everything shuts down, everything, but nobody forces you. Nobody throws color on you. Nobody pelts you with balloons. Nobody gives you, you know, the Chinese traditional crackers, or, I mean, they have that in China too. Diwali. I mean, the roads look literally like a fucking war zone in Gaza after you're done with it. I mean, motherfucker, like, you know, I remember, you know, back when I was, you know, I mean, it just goes on bang, bang, bang all night. And these same people, you know, smoke hangs thick in sight of the houses. It's that bad, you know. Literally, you got smoke like this hanging off of the ceiling. These same guys then the next morning will wake up. Some guy on the road, no prizes for guessing who, smoking on the, you know, road. He's smoking outside my house. Fucking idiot. My point in saying this is simple. It's twofold. Number one, I have no problem, but, you know, I'm a Christian. I used to be an atheist all my life. Last year, on a certain occasion, I'm not going to mention because I'm a psychopath and I want to keep that to be secret. But I want to keep that to be secret. But a certain somebody can already feel it. I know. But anyway, she's actually rather smart, and I got a lot of my psychopathic tendencies from her. But I'm not going to give you any clues. But anyway, and no, she's not my ex-wife. She's a fucking idiot. Anyway, so yeah, I converted to Christianity, but you don't see Christians walking around literally, I mean, other than Jehovah's Witnesses, and all they do is knock on your door and you tell them to fuck off, or you just pull out a fucking double-barrel shotgun, and that's all you gotta do. But here, but you know, in countries like, so why should you be forced to follow? And I'm saying this is a person, Indian origin, Habib, you know, whatever the fuck you call me. Nobody believes. It's like I'm an astral being. Nobody fucking believes, you know, I tell them, it's like, you know, they ask me these dumb questions. It's like, how the fuck can he be that stupid? But my point is, you shouldn't be forced into anything. This is such an amazingly simple point. But you tell most Indians this, even the Indians, and here's the point I'm trying to, even Indians in America, they will literally attack you. How dare you, you Hindu hater! I'm not a Hindu hater. I don't hate any religion. I'm a Christian myself, but I don't hate any religions. I don't hate Islam. I don't hate, you know, it's fine. And then I tell these Indians in America that, you know, if it was that great back in India, why don't you just go back? Oh, how dare you say that? But anyway, then I say, do you see Christians doing that? No. You know, it's like, you know, it's like it's my way or the highway, and this sort of thing is exactly why the country does not progress. It's exactly why nobody takes India seriously. I mean, I still remember my dad saying this thing about my uncle. Like, apparently he had money at the time. Maybe he still does. I don't know. I mean, everything's relative, so I don't know. That he came here, he came to India and he couldn't start up a business, and with all I mean, the term he used was a huge amount of money, but again, that's relative. I don't fully know. I don't really care. But this wasn't an isolated. I mean, he was literally saying that as a badge of honor. And it isn't an isolated. I mean, Indians use the rank dysfunction of the country as a badge of honor. Like, so the country is literally by far the worst place in the world to do business, other than obviously Iraq, Libya, Sudan. Don't bring, but I'm saying, um, and people just flaunt it as a badge of honor. If you can make it here, you think business wise, why would you want to make it here? I mean, even Amazon is losing money by the day. Why would you want to? If you could do the same thing elsewhere, online, whatever the fuck it is, why would you want to do that? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's good to have good things as a badge of honor, like my X shape, my physical fitness, my pull ups that you all love. But the bad things, like it's stupid. This is why liberals love India, because liberals parade all the bad things. And if they're fat, they'll say it's okay to be fat, it's okay to have a different body type, when the reality is they're fucking fat. If they can't get women, they'll be forced to turn feminist or whatever, and they'll say, oh, yeah, women's voice, this and that, blah blah blah. So the reason nothing changes is because everyone's so happy with the chaos that they forget that isn't how a developed society functions. And there's no law and order. It's in India they call it chalta hai. They call it, even young 19-year-old girls that I talk to, they're like, nothing will change. And young people are generally optimistic about the future and in some regard, And personally, I can't believe how. I mean, you know what people say when I bring any of this up? Oh, you don't need to come there. You don't need to go there. Nobody's asking you to go there. Blah, blah, blah. But my point is this. It's not about somebody forcing me or asking me to go anywhere. Look at this as an Indian citizen, okay? And would you not? I mean, this is why all the Indians emigrate to America illegally too. They'll do anything it takes. But would you not want to improve? Wouldn't it be more comfortable simply to improve, the country in which, you hold the passport off or whatever it is, and simply, improve standard of living in the general, and obviously it would. Then why wouldn't you want to? And it's insanity. Like, it's simple things like this. Indian feminist women bitch about rapes and so-called rapes and blah, blah. They're false cases. But on this day, rapes go through the roof. Women are groped all the time without their consent. You won't hear a feminist complain. Or maybe some do, but most don't. Drunken driving, all that, it just goes through the roof, but it's all tolerated because it's a festival. Let me ask you one thing. Again, ask if any Indians are watching this. I don't think they are, and this channel is probably going to get taken down any day, but I had to sort of get this off my chest. It's like, do you see people running around saying it's Christmas today, let's pelt people with turkeys? I mean, it's an extreme example, but does that happen? I don't think so. Or drive drunk. I mean, it's the same thing. The bottom line is this. Claude Bristol spoke about this. As we think, so we are. Okay, so if you don't, and this applies to life, this applies to fitness, this applies to, slave mind versus free mind. And if you're content to be in the slave mind mindset, which is what seems to be the vast majority of India, that's exactly what's going to happen. You'll end up being slaves again. Anyway, take this. not with a pinch of salt. I ended my last email by saying I was gonna have an old pal for I think an old pal for dinner, and Hannibal said old friend. I thought I'd say old pal because we spoke about the Brits and all this, but Turkey, he's so nice and fat. I don't know. It's like, all right, guys, I don't want to go too crazy on you later.